I have a super secret mathematical system here. So do you have guys? If you want to guess, we can start hashing it out, or I could show you the system later. But basically, I did it how they vote for a lot of sporting events and stuff, where you get 1 point for your highest category, and then the points ascend. So Fish's number 1 choice would be 5 points for Zelda, and then his number 5 choice, Resident Evil, would have been something that got only 1 point. So you assign points based off of how important that was to someone on their list. It's a very simple system. And after doing it with you guys through your list, it worked out perfectly. But let's see if we just talk it out and it lines up with what the numbers say first. A lot of stuff looks like it can be cut here, if you guys don't mind. Obviously, no one did Wolfenstein or Destiny 2. Battlegrounds only had the one situation, not a lot of points there. I don't think.
I think if any are in the top 5, they should not be excluded. Any one of our top 5s automatically.
I'm not saying it should be. Okay.
Sorry. Go ahead. Sorry. I'm sorry.
No, I mean I see your point. I'm not trying to say it should be immediately excluded. I was just trying to help us pick our battles, I guess. But,
okay.
I mean, if I go to cut something and you want to fight for it, you got to fight for it. But
that's true. I didn't play the game personally. I just know it meant something to Fish. So
yeah, I'm not gonna fight for it. I mean, all 3 of you didn't play it, so I really can't. I can't really fight for that game as our collective top 5 game. So
yeah,
that's fine. That's fine.
Okay, I think that's reasonable. So now we're getting to the back end of the votes and the selections. So there were several games that tied with 4 points, okay? One of them was Horizon, one of them was Sonic, and one of them was Hellblade. So Josh was the only person with Hellblade on his list, which is going to be one of the tougher arguments here, I think, because not that it's not incredible, and we're going to talk about it, but Sonic made 2 lists and Horizon made 2 lists. So if this is a collective list, Hellblade only making 1 list is going to be a tougher fight.
I'm going to honestly say I believe Hellblade deserves to be on the list before Sonic. And the only reason why Hellblade was not on my list is because I didn't finish the game. Hellblade does a lot more for the video game medium than Sonic. So I believe Hellblade deserves a spot before Sonic.
Okay. Well, that's where your vote goes.
That's just my 2 cents.
You were the other Sonic person, so that's going to be at least killing 1 Sonic point. Now, I think that's a bullshit reason, but I say that respectfully. So if you're basically saying your own list, you're abandoning your own children right off the bat. But I respect the heart behind it. You want to pump up Hellblade, and you're right. Hellblade probably does more for video games than Sonic. But I don't necessarily think it's a collective choice here. But you're murdering your Sonic child right before our eyes, so
yeah,
he's dead.
Okay.
Have it be known to our listeners that Shea Layton betrayed the blue hedgehog on this day.
Now is the rise of Knuckles.
Definitely not Tails, because Tails isn't doing shit.
Yeah, fuck Tails.
Okay, so I won't be able to fight enough to keep Sonic on there, so Sonic is off, which leaves Horizon.
Yay.
Let's see. Fuck off.
You know what? I will say, I did play Sonic last month with my daughter. I wanted her to experience Sonic, and she was playing through it, and she enjoyed it a bit, but she couldn't quite get through the levels, and she gave up, and I picked it up for just a second. I was like, you know what? I didn't try Knuckles in this, and I've always been drawn to Knuckles. And I played with Knuckles, and the fact that he has 2 mobility abilities in this game. One is climbing up walls, which is fucking amazing. He could climb up walls, and he can glide. Were 2 abilities that you just don't get with Sonic, and they're on another character. And it let me appreciate that game a little bit more, and
All right, Sonic Mania is back on the list. All right.
I'm not gonna fight for it, but
Yeah,
I
he's
just
saying the
want to
best part
say
of Sonic is when you're not playing Sonic.
exactly.
No, I resent that comment. Deeply resent that.
You know what's sad is his sidekick is more fun to play than him. Tails is more fun
He's
because
not.
Tails at least
No.
has a flying ability.
Yep.
To each your own, but no, that's disgusting. There's only one way to play Sonic, and that's with Sonic. Oh, this is already causing me a lot of sadness in my heart.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, did you really think Sonic Mania would make the top 5?
Well, Shea was supposed to be my backup here because we fought about it all year supporting it, and then he just dumped it off at the first sign of nothingness. Just abandoned his child in a wet street corner.
Mm-hmm. But did you see that child? It was already pretty blue. I don't think there was much that could have been done for him.
Shea,
It's clear
you're
the
gonna have to
child
live
wasn't
with that.
mine.
You're gonna have to
Mhm.
live with that decision, Shea. I want you to know that. I want you to think about that. You're gonna have to live with that decision.
Now, I have to save my
Thought we
fighting
were,
abilities for games that mean more to me.
thought we were Sonic Bros. Thought we were.
No, we're Alaskan Guardian Bros, but not Sonic Bros.
Eskimo Bros. Wait, no, Eskimo Guardians.
Yeah, Alaskan.
Get your titles straight.
Eskimo, Alaskan. It's not the same, but it's similar.
Surprisingly, similar. It's the same realm, Alaskan. Surprisingly, it looks like Resident Evil 7 has some steam on this list with a total of 5 points because it snuck on a Fish's list, and of course, it was my number 2. Feel strongly about the VR nature of that game as well being important to the industry, so let's circle that as a potential list maker. Shea has a potential list maker because he gave all 5 points to Gravity Rush 2. The only problem there being that it, as a collective award, it didn't make any other lists, which is tough. That's a tough pill to swallow for our good friend.
I will enlist Josh in my Gravity Rush 2 army.
Yeah. We'll debate it for 5, but that's...
Yeah, I agree.
But you're going to have a tough debate there because me and Fish are on the Resident Evil 7 train, and that game's a lot more important to video games. So,
Okay.
In VR? Are you kidding me? That's not even close.
You're making a huge fallacious assumption that VR is important to gaming.
Don't even fucking go there, Josh. Don't even go there. That is...
Let's get the for sure's on the list, and then we'll start arguing.
Okay, let's start from the first. So, the most points, hands down, went to Cuphead.
Yep, Cuphead's got to be up there.
Despite Josh's temporarily insanity, Cuphead received more votes by 2 than Zelda, which was second in line. So Cuphead had 13 total votes. Zelda had 11. And then, so those are guarantees. Then next up was Edith Finch. We'll talk about that when the time comes. That has 9 points. That's quite a bit. That's going to get dicey. And then we basically reach a... Resident Evil has more points than Horizon and Hellblade. And Sonic got eliminated, but not more than... Now we're getting to the dicey stuff. But this is just the points method. I'm just telling you guys from your list. So, up next, as far as most points goes, would be a tie between, like we mentioned, Resident Evil 7 and Gravity Rush 2. The tricky stuff is going to be like Hellblade and Horizon tied. And then there's...
I think we should decide the top 2 first. I think those are going to be easier.
Yeah, we can figure out the top 2, probably the third, and then fight for 4th and 5th fairly.
Yep.
Just to simplify this.
Yep.
Well,
the math is here. The math is here.
I mean, if we already know the top 3, then maybe we should get 4 and 5 out of the way and see how the rest fall then from there. Maybe. Oh no.
4 and 5 are going to be dicey. Let's hypothetically, do you guys want to scratch in Cuphead at number 1?
We could put it at number 2.
I think this one's difficult because I think if I had played Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild completely, it would have been probably in my number 2 slot, and Cuphead would have been my number 3, just because of the open world nature of the game, and there's so much to do in it. And of course, it's a Zelda game. It's of the highest quality. Part of me would also like to see it go to Cuphead because of how much love and care is put into that game, how much passion for it being primarily 2 people is just incredible. And I think that it would just speak to how far indie developers have come, because they've gone double platinum and they've gotten a ton of accolades this year, and they are an indie developer. And I think that it would be cool to see. I mean, obviously we're not this like high end top of the rung podcast or anything like that, but to us personally give it the best accolades we possibly can, I think would be a nice touch on a game that really, at the end of the day, had all 4 of us playing it and all 4 of us loving it to different degrees and in different capacities. This is a game all 4 of us have played. We all enjoyed the game. I honestly think it should be number 1. Whether or not Zelda is the better game, I think it should be number 1.
Okay.
You know,
I can kind of see that. But
yeah. I could get behind that because me personally, Zelda Breath of the Wild and Cuphead were both very hard to choose between, and like, yeah, I'd be fine with Cuphead being number 1 game for us. But if somebody wants to argue that, like, I don't mind hearing that, but that's how I feel about it.
I know Josh is in a tough spot here. I think that the best case, besides just the math, would be that Cuphead was a runner-up for Josh, even though it didn't make his list, surprisingly. But Zelda Breath of the Wild isn't anywhere on Shea's radar. Now, most of that's because he wasn't able to play it. But still, this is a collective award. You have a game that was 2-2-1 and a runner-up, as opposed to 1-1-5 and then nowhere on the radar. So I'm just trying to be like last year. I didn't think like Uncharted 4 wasn't my game of the year, but it was something I kind of had to just bend over and take it because it was the collective choice, and I thought it was an incredible game. Josh is in a tougher spot here because the math is, and we're all saying Cuphead, but that didn't even make Josh's list. So yeah. I know he's in a little bit of a tough predicament there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with it being 1 or 2. I'm not as fine with it being number 1. It's, yeah. Like, I played it a bunch and specifically chose not to have it on my top 5. So that's, just where I'm at with it. So
shocking, too. Very shocking thing. All right, well, it sounds like it's going to be tough, Josh. We'll come back to that, but it sounds like we have 3 Cuphead votes. But I mean, it would be a little different. I mean, I don't mean that as a slight against Zelda, but Zelda's going to get Game of the Year basically almost everywhere. And I don't think we should dictate our choices based off that, but
yeah, I think it actually got Game of the Year in Xbox One magazine, which was surprising.
That it really was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little counterintuitive.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 5 minutes with Zelda is probably better than anything else. Well, as much as I'd like to destroy the Xbox, the sad reality is that Cuphead was an Xbox exclusive other than PC. So that's the irony there. Mm-hmm. Literally saved that whole goddamn wretched system.
Did anyone play it on Xbox? Was that a thing?
No,
nobody played it.
It sold a lot.
I use the Xbox controller, if that counts.
Yeah, same here.
There you go. Yeah, but I used a 360 controller, because why would I... Yeah.
Yeah, me too. That was the weirdest thing about that. My game of the year huddled in my podcast room on my PC.